Completing a formal security risk analysis is required by the HIPAA security rule and must follow HHS OCR guidelines. Stage 1 and Stage 2 meaningful use require completion of a HIPAA security risk analysis. Security violations can be devastating to an organization's reputation and finances. Without the benefit of a HIPAA-compliant risk analysis approach, you don't know your risks. You're probably making privacy and security investments in a vacuum without facts and data to facilitate an informed decision-making. Without the benefit of a HIPAA-compliant risk analysis approach, you're at high risk in the face of increasing enforcement actions, such as random OCR audits, OCR investigations in the event of a breach, CMS audits for meaningful use. The threat landscape is constantly changing. Organizations are struggling to identify threats. Organizations don't know their vulnerabilities. Are critical systems encrypted? Are passwords strong enough? Are we prepared for disaster? Are our employees trained? All this uncertainty means we don't know our risks. Regulatory risks, financial risks, legal risks, risks to our reputations, risks to operations and care. The Clearwater HIPAA risk analysis software is the answer. Inventory information assets that store EPHI. Understand significant threats and vulnerabilities. Determine if you have the right controls in place. Determine your likelihood of harm and risk rating. Create compliance documentation and management reports. To complete a bona fide risk analysis, you must identify assets and media that create, store, receive, or transmit EPHI. Threats that might exploit that sensitive information. Threat actions that those threat agents might take. Your organization's vulnerabilities, and if you have the right controls in place. The number of factors you need to consider to determine your risk can be overwhelming. The Clearwater HIPAA risk analysis software demystifies a complex process and arms you with an expert risk analysis engine. Identify your media and assets that contain EPHI. View pre-populated threats and vulnerabilities based on the media that you selected. Determine if you have the right controls in place from pre-populated lists. Determine your likelihood of harm and view it on the risk rating report. Make security investments based on the real analysis of your highest risks. Meet the documentation requirements of HIPAA and meaningful use for risk analysis. Based on HHS OCR guidance, compliant with the NIST security framework, our SaaS solution transforms risk analysis from arts and crafts into science and engineering.